Hi, this is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk more about the continuing Tesla stock crash of 2019. We can see that the stock today is falling below the 50-day moving average, which is this blue line below the red line, which is a 200-day moving average, sort of a classic downtrend for a stock. Now, the man who enjoys joking about Tesla going bankrupt on Twitter, there have been a lot of revelations in the last couple of weeks I wanted to catch you guys up on. First one, the really big one, Solar City was insolvent, at least according to this lawsuit. Solar City was allegedly insolvent when Tesla paid $2.6 billion to buy it. Now, an insolvent company is worth zero in terms of equity. But Musk had a very good reason for doing this. He was basically bailing out himself. He owned 22% of the shares. He was the largest shareholder of Solar City when this acquisition happened. And his cousin was the founder. So he was basically bailing himself out and bailing his cousin out at the expense of Tesla shareholders. If you're a Tesla shareholder, you need to know the character of the man who is the fiduciary for your capital. Another thing that just came out a couple days ago, Musk broke the law. He basically threatened and retaliated against employees, saying that if they joined a union, they would give up company-paid stock. This is clearly illegal. And also, you can kind of see the circles that Musk moves in. Reportedly hired a convicted felon to investigate the British diver, who he called a pedophile. And finally, National Highway Transportation Safety Administration is investigating Tesla yet again about a battery malfunction that could cause fires in Teslas even when they're not driving. So this is all happening. Meanwhile, we got the latest delivery numbers 2 days ago, and a lot of pressure on the stock as a result of this. So these are the quarterly delivery numbers. We just got the Q3. They delivered 17,400 Model S and Model X, and 79,600 Model 3. Now, this is basically Musk set a target, a full year guidance that he would deliver 360,000 to 400,000 vehicles in 2019. He's currently at 255,200. So to meet the low end of that guidance, he's going to need to deliver 104,800 in the fourth quarter. Probably going to miss this guidance. And because of the mix of vehicles, it's almost certain that Tesla will lose more money in 2019 than it lost last year. So I just wanted to show you what's happening here. If we look at the Models S and the Model X, the number of vehicles delivered. So in the third quarter of last year, 2018, they delivered 27,000 some vehicles, 27,660. This quarter, the year on year, only 17,000. So they're delivering a lot more of the lower margin Model 3s. This is really going to hurt their overall gross margin, and it's going to hurt their earnings. Their earnings are going to be even more negative. You can see for all of last year, or for the first 3 quarters of 2018, they sold almost 72,000 of these high-end models. This year, they've only sold 47,000. So there are a lot of competitors out there now, especially some of the German car manufacturers, BMW and Porsche. And as a result, they're really losing this high-end thing. And the problem is their Model 3s are still fairly expensive for the average person. So they're in a real bind here. And I can't imagine anyone who would want to be long the stock going into earnings in a couple weeks from now. And the real backdrop as well is there are a lot of signs now, apart from the inverted yield curve, there are a lot of signs that the U.S. economy is slowing. Manufacturing slowing. It's giving a recessionary reading. Bad U.S. payrolls report today. And on top of that, global sales are slowing down for auto. So it's really a perfect storm for Tesla, which is always it seems like it's struggling during good times. It's hard to imagine what's going to happen to it during these bad times. And meanwhile, there's been a fair amount of short covering. So you can see right here I have the short interest for Tesla stock. So these are the number of shares that have been sold short, betting on a decline. And the number of shares, this became a fairly crowded trade in the middle of the summer when we got up to about 41,400,000 shares. There's been a fair amount of short covering. Since then, we're back down to just call it 39 million shares sold short. So I think this is a very good short, especially if the U.S. is heading into a recession, as it looks like it is, because no one is going to bail out. No one's going to bail out Tesla in this kind of environment. And you can see the damage that's being done to these kind of unprofitable companies. Uber just off a cliff, Lyft off a cliff, Slack off a cliff, and then the whole WeWork implosion. This is the backdrop, and this is why it's extremely dangerous, I believe, to be long Tesla here. I think a much smarter trade is to be short. And so I'm positioned. I still have the same trade on. I am long the June 2021 puts. Struck at 200. So the 200 puts that expire June 2021, and I'm funding that by being short puts, the 75 puts that expire a couple months before that, the Jan 2021 puts. So this is a bearish put spread, and it will make its maximum amount of money at if the stock goes to 75. So below that, I'm willing to give up some profits below that, but I think the stock can clearly, it's just unbelievably overpriced for such a money-losing operation that has to constantly sell stock, sell bonds to stay afloat. They don't make any money selling cars, which is why they have to constantly raise external capital. So this put spread is currently trading at 39.30. I've been long this bear put spread for a couple months now, and it will max out at 125. So the maximum profit on this bear put spread will occur if Tesla goes to $75 a share. So it's basically, you have a chance. Again, this is a risky trade. This is just what I'm doing. It's not a trade recommendation. But you can buy the put spread around here, around 39. And if Tesla falls before 2021 to 75, your $39 will become $125. So, basically tripling your money over that time frame. Let me know your thoughts on Tesla, what you thought of the delivery numbers. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep following what's happening with Tesla, and hit that like button as well if you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.